that's what they're going to vote in because he's promised them everything. It would be like me saying, I'm going to hire anyone that wants to work for me, and I'm going to give you $1 million a year, right? You're going to make $1 million a year. Now, I don't have the means to like pay people that much, but I'm just going to say it, and people are going to just come flocking, and then they find out that I can't. I would never. Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. I'm here in Draper, Utah, where LifeWave headquarters is. I'm going to have a group here in a couple days. So fantastic that the Democrats are going to sweep the Virginia, New Jersey, and probably do Proposition 50. I said Proposition 10 the other night, so thank you for everybody who corrected me. But it was Proposition 50, where California, who's expert at, basically changing zones so that more Democrats can get in there, absentee ballots and all that kind of stuff. They've pretty much taken over the state completely, even though 40% of the voters are Republican. So it's crazy. So if you have 40% of voters that vote Republican, and you have like 70% of the state Democrat, there's probably some shady stuff going on, right? So, yep. It's now, why are we going to have this sweep? Because we all know, the most of us that are awake, that are pretty much taking our consciousness to the next level. What is going on with people that would vote for demon rats? All right, because every state, every city where the Democrats are mostly in control is a complete shithole. They have some of the worst education. The cost of living is over the top. People can't afford it. The people that they've said that they were going to try and help, their Democrat base, they can't even live in the states. They can't even live in the cities where they're at because the cost of living is so high. Gosh, we go on for so much. I mean, the crime, the filth, homelessness in all these cities. Yet people keep voting them in. What is going on? So it's a consciousness problem. Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. I'm here in Draper, Utah, where LifeWave headquarters is. I'm going to have a group here in a couple days. So fantastic that. Oh no, I haven't been paying my taxes because I thought the IRS was gone, and so the IRS came after them. So there are ways to, we talked about that. I had courses on that. I think a lot of people got involved in that, but you have to be clever. You have to understand the system. You can't just wing it. You have to understand how the system is arrayed, aligned, and once you understand that, then you can start to move out of those directions, because all they're doing is just threaten you for the most part, and then they'll come and seize your accounts and all that. Yes, I've been through that, but then we got clever and we started pushing back, and we're like got help, and we learned how to like work around the system, and we're not in that system anymore, right? So you can get out of the system. I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing more and more that the system, as it breaks down, and it's showing us how corrupt and how broken it is, smart people are moving away from it. Now, the people that are NPCs, non-player candidates, that are very much existent out there, guys. NPC is a real thing, right? So they're out there pretty much soulless. They just come in to, I don't know if they're clones or what the heck's going on with them, but they just come in and they're just existent, and they push the rules of the deep state manipulators. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're here, because they wanted them here so that they could have a lot of people to protect them and push back on us that are trying to wake up. Right? I'm not trying to. I'm there. I'm trying to help other people to wake up. Right? So that is the situation we're in. so many things are going to continue to push against us. So we see that they have stopped funding everything. It's probably going to be one of the longest, if not the longest, government shutdown in history. I think it's probably going to push all the way to Thanksgiving. And I think if it makes all the way to Thanksgiving, it will be the longest ever. All right. So what does that do for those people that make sure our airlines, fly right? That's why I'm happy to be driving right now, because there's a lot of shutdowns, 4,000 shutdowns across the country today alone. There was a massive plane crash, UPS or something, that crashed in Kentucky. I got some of the links for that. I'll kind of go over that, but just off the top of my head, all this stuff. You have the people that don't have their SNAP coming through. I guess their cards were loaded, so they're living on whatever's left on their SNAP cards, or I don't know if they're being replenished. But supposedly on November 1st, that program ended because there was no more funding for it. Now, some states, like especially New York, which they depend on paying people, like we're having Mamdani. So Kathy Hochul came in and said that she was going to fund the SNAP payments. There were other states, California, of course, because they have they have welfare states. It's welfare states, and they have 1 in 8 people. Probably in some of these states and some of these cities, there's a lot more than 1 to 8 ratio. Probably closer to 1 to 5 or 1 to 4, something like that. So people completely depend on that. Now, in my intuitive mind today, it came to me that this was on purpose, to start to take those people out that are abusing that system, because the only way you can get the abusers out of it is to completely shut it down, and that way you can find them, right? Now, of course, there are some people that legitimately, probably, I don't know, 10, 20% of those people that get that, I don't know, maybe legitimately, need to be getting that. Otherwise, most people can, survive on their own, from their own means, or go out and work, right? I saw this one guy that he lost his job and he knew how to play the piano. So he plays the piano in nursing homes. He makes like 50% less than what he was making before, but he's making ends meet. He's paying the bills, getting by. So it's, people do that. When, I was, decided to leave the CIA, right? And they started to destroy my life. It was pretty tough. I was working multiple jobs. I think there was one time I worked 3 months straight every day for 3 months straight, and mostly 10 to 12-hour days. So, you can, make ends meet. You can get by. You can, push into new realities, because that was for me, pushing into a new reality, because my life had been destroyed, had no credit, completely destroyed my credit, had nothing, no savings, no nothing, right? And at one time I was living out of my backpack, walking Pacific Crest Trail, and I barely had enough to do that. So I fought my way back, and now I'm semi-successful, right? Whatever that means. All right. But I learned how to pay cash with it for everything. All right. And I don't owe anything, because I couldn't buy anything on credit. Right. So it taught me, and I'd always wanted to do that. And I guess be careful what you wish for. But in this case, it actually worked out pretty good. So I learned a lot from that. It was a difficult time frame, for me and my family, but we worked it out. So and since then, we've had some incredible times together. And now I'm involved in helping other people, wake up to this incredibly corrupt system. I learned the hard way, and I don't want other people to learn the hard way. right? But many of you have, and that's why you're probably listening, because you're like, we're all one big happy group together. We've been abused, and we are like, okay, this is how we help people, and this is how we won't, buddy up to this system anymore. So the system's collapsing. So imagine that system is not paying them. So how many of those people that are getting those SNAP payments are Democrats, right? And we know that the Democrat system has to completely go away, or it can just go over there and do its own thing in those cities, and we can wall those cities up, and people have to have a special pass to come out. All right, and that's the only way they're going to come out. Escape from New York? No, there will be no escape. Right? We will completely wall it off. Burn the bridges down. We won't wall them up. We'll burn them down. We'll flood the tunnels, and no one gets out. No flights going in. No flights coming out. Right? So that'll never happen, of course, but that's the way it should be. All right, because these people they have to learn the hard way. They tried to kill us, guys. They tried to kill us during COVID, and I have compassion for them, but I have no sympathy for them. I have compassion for their stupidity and their inability to think correctly, their inability to do critical thinking, their inability to have compassion for others, empathy for others. They're like reptilians, no empathy, right? So it is getting past the time that these people can be helped. All right, we've talked about that, and they're building their nest. Their nest. There's nothing in their nest. There's no one going to feed them in their nest. There's no one going to bring them food in their nest, and the little birds are going to try and fly, and they're going to crash. All right, and then they're going to walk around. Where's my mother? All right, so. It's sad. It's sad, but that's the way it's going to be. All right. So we have a lot of stuff going on. The Earth itself is rising in consciousness, right? As it grows, it literally has been growing. That's why the continents have been separating. The Earth actually grows, just like our consciousness is growing. All right. So the Earth, as it grows, in relation to the sun and the energy from the sun. That's kicking off all kinds of energy at the Earth right now. There's going to be changes, and these changes will be earthquake related, tsunami, volcanic, and so forth.
And they're launching a very fast coronal mass ejection with a 1.1x class flare. And let's see if we can time this. It's going to be we almost got it. Let's switch over to our SUVI imagery to capture that. This is our past 3 hours. Gets it a bit more cleanly. And here, this is our chronograph imagery. We can switch to our SUVI imagery. We'll go back to what I'm showing you right now. Here we have our SUVI imagery, and this shows us our latest 1.1 X class flare, right slightly behind